Uh, let's discuss a bit about uh, some viewpoints. If theta is acute, we'll try to draw 90 plus theta, 90 minus theta. How do we do 90 plus theta first? When you look at 90 plus theta mean this is plus 90 and plus theta. So if we know the plus mean the direction is anti-clockwise. This is also anti-clockwise. So when you draw 90 plus theta, so starting from here, this is 90 and another theta. Theta is acute, so we know that it's not going more than 180. So this is theta. So this angle is 90 plus theta. So 90 plus theta is in second quadrant. How about 90 minus theta? 90 minus theta. It means plus 90 minus theta. So you can go plus 90 anti-clockwise and then theta clockwise. So we'll start from here, go 90 and clockwise and anti-clockwise theta. So this is theta. Then what is this angle? 90 minus theta. This whole 90, when you take theta out, this is 90 minus theta. So 90 minus theta in first quadrant. 90 plus theta is in second quadrant. Now let's look at 180 plus theta and 180 minus theta. We'll discuss 100 plus theta. This is plus. It means two pluses go in the same direction. So we'll start like this. So 90, 180 and another theta amount. So this total angle is 180 plus theta. In which quadrant now? It is in third quadrant. Now 180 minus theta. So it has this direction anti-clockwise and this one clockwise. So go and come back. So this is 90, 180 and go back theta. So then this angle is 180 minus theta. So 180 minus theta is in second quadrant. 180 plus theta in third quadrant. Next one is 270 plus theta, 270 minus theta. So then 270 plus theta means you go 270 and another theta. So this angle is 270 plus theta. Which quadrant the angle lies or hypotenuse? In fourth quadrant. Now 270 minus theta. So go 270, come theta back. So then this angle is 270 minus theta. Now we'll discuss 360 plus theta and 360 minus theta. So 360 plus theta. So you go 300 and another theta amount. So you are in first quadrant. Other one. You go 360 and come back theta amount and minus theta. So this angle is 360 minus theta, which is in third quadrant. So we discuss about 180 plus theta and 180 minus theta. So the use of it, I can write angle 2 240. I can write 180 plus 60. I can where the 240 lies in third quadrant. I write in terms of using 180. Other one 160. I can use 180 minus 20. Why I am doing this? 240 I am writing with the help of 180. So we will see why. So I am using 180 plus or minus 90 plus or minus 270 plus or minus 360 plus or minus. But here I am discuss 180 plus or minus because we can apply some rules if we write angle using this axis. So this is x-axis, this is 180 360 or 0 axis, this is 90 270 axis. We can easily simplify with some rules. So you can see this 180 is a special guest. 240 and 160. 240 is this quadrant, 160 is in second quadrant. I write using this guest 180 because there are some rules we can use. Sine 180 minus 30, we can use sine 30. Cos 180 minus 30, we can use minus cos 30. Tan 180 minus 30, we use minus tan 30. Actually, let me write this is plus sine 30, minus cos 30, minus tan 30. For example, you can see this one. 160, 160. I'll take sine 160. This is sine. I'll bring the guest. 180 minus 20. Theta become acute angle is now here 20. 180 minus theta. Instead of theta, 20. Now what is the answer? Simply, if you see like this, you can simply write sine theta, sine 20. So sine 100, instead of sine 180, the same answer you will get sine 20. Now I'll teach you how to remember this rule. 180 minus theta. Now can you tell me 180 minus theta in which quadrant? 180 minus theta. Oh, 180 come theta back. It is in second quadrant. So this is this angle is 180 minus theta. So it is in second quadrant. Second quadrant, for this angle, if you consider sine ratio for this angle, so in second quadrant, what is the sign of sine? It is positive. Sine positive, all others negative. Positive. For second quadrant, how about cos for this angle? Right? We know that cos is negative. Only sine is positive. How about tan ratio for this angle? So it is also negative. If I write properly, sine 180 minus theta, the symbol is positive. Then what is this sign? Then write with again sine, don't change the ratio, and with this acute angle, that's it. Now 180 minus theta with cos ratio. We know that 180 minus theta in second quadrant, cos is negative. So then we put negative. Then simply write again cos theta without 180. Then tan 180 minus theta. We know that 180 minus theta in second quadrant. Hence it is negative, and simply write minus tan theta. We'll discuss example. 135. 135 angle in which quadrant? Second quadrant. Second quadrant, sine positive, cos negative, tan negative. If I can ask what is sine? Cos 135, tan 135. Now I am going to use those rules. Sine 135, I can bring this guessed. Sine 135 mean this is 135. It means what is this angle? 180 minus 35. This is 45. Instead of 135, can I write come 180 go back 45? 180 minus 45. Now I know, since 135 in second quadrant, the sine ratio is positive. Sine ratio is positive. And we simply 108 drop 100 and we write 45. Likewise, this is cos. Cos 180 minus 45. I know that 135 is in second quadrant, cos is negative. So negative value I write first and then simply write cos 45. I disregard 180. So 135 begin to a smaller number. Tan 180 minus 45. 135 in second quadrant, tan is negative. Then negative tan 45. So this is the use of this rule. This is 180 minus theta. Now we'll discuss 180 plus theta. Before that, we'll discuss another example. Uh, 120. 120 in which quadrant? Second quadrant. Second quadrant, sine ratio is negative. Cos ratio is, sorry, sine ratio is positive. Cos ratio is negative. Tan ratio is negative. So having this knowledge, sine 120, I write with my guess, sine 180 minus 60. I use 180. Since 120 in second quadrant, sine is negative, positive, I'll put positive. And then I'll forget this 180, right? Sine 60. The second one, cos 120. It means cos I use with the aid of 180. Then I know in second quadrant, because 120 in second quadrant, the cos is negative. So then negative cos 60. Simply I forget 180. Then tan 120 mean tan 180 minus 60. 120 in second quadrant, tan in second quadrant is negative. So negative, then I simply write y sine 180 minus theta equals sine theta. Why? You can give a proof. You can draw the sine theta graph and sine 180 minus theta graph, both same. Or we can give a proof with this first discussion if you carefully look at. But I'm not going to discuss that one. It may confuse you. Maybe at the end of a lesson and when you have good knowledge. Now we'll write again sine 180 minus theta. So what is the answer? 100 minus theta in second quadrant. Second quadrant sign is positive because of that symbol is positive, and then simply write sine with this theta. Then cos 180 minus theta. You look at where's the 100 minus theta in the second quadrant. In second quadrant, cos value is negative, and negative cos theta. Ratio is stay the same with the simple acute angle, right? The symbol you have to check. Tan 180 minus theta. So 100 minus theta in which quadrant? Second quadrant. In second quadrant, what is the tan sign? It is negative. So we clear with the symbol now, sign direction. Now the size. We write same ratio tan and with the this one. Now we'll discuss 180 plus theta angle. Where this 180 plus theta lies? On third quadrant, 180 and another theta. So this is 180 plus theta. In third quadrant, what you can about sine? Only tan positive, then sine is negative. What you can tell about cos ratio in second quadrant, because 130 in the second quadrant, negative. What can you tell about tan ratio? In the second quadrant, tan is positive. Third quadrant. On the third quadrant, tan is positive. Now you simply write the same ratios and with the acute angle. We'll discuss example. Sine 230. 230 in third quadrant, somewhere here. I can write 230 using our guessed 180 and plus what? 50. I'll take this is 240, then this is 60. Then we know in the second quadrant, sine ratio is negative. Then we write simply sine with the small angle. Sine 240 means minus sine 60. I bring 240 to 60 small angle. Cos 240. 240 in third quadrant, right? Okay, I will write cos 180 plus 60. Now 180 plus 60 or 240 both same in third quadrant. Third quadrant cos ratio is negative, and then simply write cos ratio with the acute angle. Very simple. And then tan 240. I write tan 180 plus 40. Not 40, it is 60. And then 160 plus 80 plus 60, which is 240, is in third quadrant. Third quadrant tan ratio is positive. So then this is tan. I write tan as it is with the small angle. Now we write sine 180 plus theta. How do we write now? 180 plus theta in second quadrant. In second quadrant, sine ratio is negative. Only tan is positive. Negative sine theta. Cos 180 plus theta. 180 plus theta in third quadrant. In third quadrant, cos is negative. Only tan is positive. Then negative cos theta. Then tan 180 plus theta. 180 plus theta in third quadrant. In third quadrant, tan is positive. So then this is positive tan theta. So you use 180 guessed. Oh, guess mean I'm just using a nickname. So 180 value, you write the angle used with the help of or with the aid of 180 value. And then we use this simple formula to simplify. So you don't need to remember. Only thing you need to know, you need to check. For example, uh, tan 270, right? Tan 270 is in which triangle? Which quadrant? Third. Okay, I put 260. 260 in which quadrant? Third quadrant. Third quadrant tan is what? Negative. The value answer is negative. If you type tan in the calculator and take 260, your answer should be negative. You know now the reason for now. I need bring this 260 value to smaller value. So then I take the help of 180. Tan 180 plus 80. Okay. Then I know this going tan ratio is positive here. Sorry, I think I made a mistake. I said this value is negative. No, that's wrong, because in third quadrant tan is positive, right? If you type the calculator, okay, I will stay with the sine. Um, Sine 260, 260 in third quadrant, sine has to be negative because only tan is positive. If you type sine 260, you can get a negative answer from the calculator. Now I want to bring this 260 to a smaller number. So now I know the symbol is going to be, now I write sine with the help of 180. 180 plus 80. And now we know, since it is in a second quadrant, sine is, third quadrant, sine is negative, and then simply sine, and I use this, apply this rule, 180 plus theta. Simply write the 80. Now we discuss in this x-axis this 180. Now here we'll discuss 360. When we get 360 plus theta, okay, minus theta. So what is sine ratio? 360, go 360 and come theta back. It is in the fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, sine is negative. Simply write sine theta. Right? And cos 360 minus 30 in the fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant, cos is positive. Then we write positive. Then we write the same symbol, right? And we write then theta, acute angle. Tan 360 minus 30. 360 minus 30, the angle in third quadrant. Third quadrant, tan ratio is negative. So the negative tan ratio as it is with the small angle. See, I dropped 360. So here 180 and here it is 360. It doesn't matter, only one thing you need to know. You want to check in which quadrant the angle, and according to the cast diagram you want to check what is the symbol. Then you write the same ratio and with the acute same angle. That's the algorithm. If I tell again, check these angles in which quadrant. Then look at the cast diagram and check according to the ratio whether uh, that sign going to be negative or positive. Then write the same uh, ratio and drop this 180 or 360 and just write the acute angle. For example, I want to write find sine 330. That's a big number, right? First of all, I look at 330. Where the 330 line? 330 lies in fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant sine is negative. Only cos is positive. Now I know it is going to be negative now, right? So I will write in terms of sine 360 minus 30. Then sine, since it this 360 minus 30 or 330 in fourth quadrant is negative, and simply write sine with the acute angle. But you can't use 180 here. Why? If you use sine 180, it's going to be plus. Uh, Sine 180 plus 150. What is the rule? This angle should be acute. Theta has to be acute, but here 150 is not acute. So then you can't use 100 and 180. So you have to use 360, because then only you can obtain this angle 30, which is acute. Tan 330, not con. Then 330 in fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, tan is negative. Then I write tan 360 minus 30. Then negative, I write the same ratio with the small angle. I think I want to find sine minus 70. Now it's a bit challenging. Right? First of all, I will write this one in terms of positive. So sine minus 70 mean what? It's minus angle. Forget about sine first. So minus 70 is locate here. You are measuring anti-clockwise. This is 70 and this is minus 70. Somehow this angle is 70. So same, so this is the hypotenuse. The same one you are measuring positively, like this. 270 and 360 minus 70. So then this is going to be 290. So instead of minus 70, you can write 290. So sine minus 70 equals sine 290. Sine 290 mean what? Sine 360 minus 70. Right? Sine 360 minus 70 mean in fourth quadrant sine is negative. Minus sine 70. There's another way actually. There's a small. Can you remember that in the previous section we discussed sine minus theta equal minus sine theta? Chapter number 9. We draw those graph, and so you can use that one as well simply. So if you see minus sine 70, the answer is minus sine 7. If you see sine minus 70, you can write minus sine 70. That is also applicable. For that, you have to remember this. Sine minus theta equal minus sine theta. That's fine. We draw sine minus theta graph, and we draw sine minus sine theta graph, and we see that both graphs are same. That's why we write this is equal. We wrote this as equal. To complete the note, I can write sine 360 plus theta, cos 360 plus theta, tan 360 plus theta. We know that sine, cos, tan, everything in this first quadrant, 360 plus theta, the angle is in first quadrant. All are positive. So all are positive. Then simply write sine, cos, tan, and theta, theta, theta. So we took the help of x-axis. 180 minus theta, 180 plus theta, 360 minus theta, 360 plus theta. We can use the y-axis as well, 90 plus theta minus theta. Right, I'll discuss when the time comes. But in that case, not only the sine, This ratio also change, but you don't need to know at this time. So you don't need to remember. Now you know how to uh, develop. Actually, with these rules, there are other. Uh, with this one, you should have the class diagram. Uh, these three also very important. Sine minus theta equal minus sine theta. Cos minus theta equal uh, cos theta. Tan minus theta equal minus tan theta. If you draw those two graphs, you can see those graphs are same. And minus theta in fourth quadrant sign is negative. Minus theta in fourth quadrant cos is positive. Minus theta in fourth quadrant tan is negative. Tan value is negative. And then you can remember that one as well now. Simply write the sine theta cos theta. Same ratio first write, then the theta. For example, sine minus 60 is what? Minus sine 60. Because can you see that the minus value in here with the angle, but we get rid of that now. Now this is a positive number. This is a big advantage. And cos minus 60. Now it is not minus because minus 60 in fourth quadrant. When you come here, it is in fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant cos is positive. So then cos 60 and tan minus 60 means same minus tan 60.